real cases before a real judge.
Plaintiff Hillary Land rented an apartment with the defendant, who often got drunk after work and became violent. Hillary says she was forced to clean up after the defendant smashed bottles in a drunken rage, and she's suing for rent and property. Defendant Kimberly Pittaway admits that she was going through a hard time while living with Hillary, but insists the only property she destroyed was her own. Kimberly says she has video proving Hillary went into her bedroom without permission, so she's countersuing for harassment.
Start with you.
Your Honor, when my former roommate and I were living together, and she pretty much made my life a nightmare. She would come home from work and start drinking at least 4 times a week. When she was drinking, she would get belligerent and violent. She would pick up bottles and glasses and smash them down on the counter and shattering them in her hand. And I was always
doing an argument of some sort.
No, this is just like she's upset about something, and she would just do this out of anger while she's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always there cleaning up after it, cleaning up the glass, bandaging her hands, and then while bandaging her hands, she would get even more upset and screaming and try to like hit the walls and stomp her feet or whatever. And I would have to go then to the neighbors and apologize for
is this true?
Yes, but I was also going through a very hard time. I had just got kicked out of my parents' house because they were moving out of state, and I had just ended a 1.5-year relationship with somebody, and so it was a major life change for me.
All right. Did you explain that to her?
She knew all of that. She was there through it. That's the reason why we got an apartment together, because of it. And
did she know that was you acting out against your...
Yes, but I never acted out against her. I acted out against myself. So that
and the apartment that you all shared.
Right, but the things that I broke were my property that I...
Yeah, but you don't want to room with a person who's breaking items in the household. That's unacceptable. I don't care whose property it is. You're damaging it and messing up her quiet enjoyment of the property.
A lot of the time she came home to it. It wasn't like she was there all the time.
Okay, so she came home and she'd have to see glass all over and
I cleaned up a lot of it.
Evidence of your destruction. Go ahead.
She's very codependent. She couldn't live without somebody being there. She always was trying to offer people to move in with us. And she had a friend of hers and her baby come and move in with us. She stayed there for probably about 2 months.
You agreed to?
Let her finish.
Later on, she had her brother move in with us, who had gotten evicted from his apartment for being convicted of selling drugs out of his home.
Did you know this, and did you approve of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I knew that.
He was having a hard time too.
Right. Everybody, yeah. She's drinking and destroying property. The brother is moving in after having been kicked out for selling drugs.
Yes.
Go ahead.
On top of that, when her brother did move in, he was allergic to my cat, and they forced me to get rid of my cat.
We did not force you. I asked you, and you agreed to it, just like you agreed to him moving in.
Ask you what?
I asked her if she could get rid of her cat because my brother was court-ordered to live with me because I'm the only family he had back in Nebraska, and he's allergic to cats, so I asked her if she could take her cat to her mom's house until he found another place to live, and she agreed to that and took her cat to her mom's.
So there's no one in the city for him to live with, as she says?
Not.
He asked the court to move to my parents, and they told him no. So it relied on me because I was his only family left.
What if you weren't there? What do you think would have happened?
He probably would have been in jail. I don't know.
Okay. Instead, she had to get rid of her cat. You didn't sell any drugs. You didn't do anything wrong, did you?
No, I did not.
But yet you have to get rid of your loved one to accept someone in who's convicted of dealing drugs.
Correct.
Gotcha.
But if it was a problem, she should have never agreed to it.
It's not like I had much choice.
Go ahead. Anything else before I get her side?
On top of it...
Can't do too much more wrong.
Yes. It got to the point where it got so bad that in February, she accused me of tampering with her bedroom door, and to the point where she had to kick it in and break it in half. She broke it in half.
To get in her bedroom?
No, I had to get out of my bedroom because someone had tampered with the lock that I had bought for my door the same night that I bought it. after we got into a huge argument and I moved all my expensive stuff into the bedroom and I bought a lock for the door, and I'm not saying her, but somebody messed with the door because I had to break the door to get out of it.
I bought the same doorknob made from the same company and tried to install it in my...
Give me your side. What do you want me to know about living with her?
Well, she's just as crazy, very codependent herself. Like, we would get in arguments because I was never there when she was there, and I told her that I do not want to be her friend anymore and that we'll just be roommates if that's how it's going to be. And if you want to use the cable or the internet or anything like that, you can use your own stuff in the living room, because she was using all my stuff. Well, she came home and disconnected all of my internet and was getting in my face and threatening me, saying that she wasn't going to
About what month was that occurring?
February.
Okay.
And can I... First of all, I was never upset that she wasn't home. I was upset that she wanted me to stay home and wait around for her to
Why
be
would
there.
I want you to do that when I had my own life? I was in a relationship with somebody
You
and going
wanted
to
to
see
talk
them.
to me about the credit cards, and you expected me to sit around and wait there for you to make time for me.
How did you end up leaving in February, ma'am?
Because of the whole argument and the door being broken, I left for 3 days because I didn't feel comfortable in my own home.
Where'd your brother go then?
He stayed at a friend's house. I'm not for sure where he went.
So he did have somewhere else to stay after all. Gotcha.
Well, it's different.
You're suing her for $2,166 for what months?
I am suing $2,000 for the rent for February through June. It's $400 each month. And then the cost to replace the door was $166.
Okay. And your harassment is for what, ma'am?
Because for one, she destroyed our kitchen, which I have pictures of that she put.
I dirtied the kitchen.
Let me see your pictures. And did you have to incur an expense for that?
No, I did not. I didn't even clean it, but
Did you fix the door you kicked down?
No, but she
Okay.
also left me a note.
This is only dirty. This is dirty dishes, ma'am. What else, ma'am?
She left me a note saying that I needed to be careful what I do next because I don't have a door anymore, which is right here. And then I also got video.
Did you write that, ma'am?
I did.
And then I also have video of her going in and out of my room while I was not there.
Let's see it. Doing what?
Going through my things.
You have that video with you today?
I do, and I would like to show that
I
to you.
went in there and got 3 items.
Well, we're going to take a
Whether
look.
you went in, you had no reason to go into
Let's
my room
see.
and take anything out. You can see her going in with a flashlight, looking around. The next clip will be her carrying some things of whatever she has.
There you go. She's looking for the cat. You're right.
You can see she's carrying some stuff out of my room, going through my things, and then on top of it, she comes back in a completely different outfit, so she had to have gone in there more than once. That's her playing with my Xbox.
It's another outfit. You're right.
And there's no reason for her to be going in and out of my room.
Ma'am?
Yes.
What was that about?
I went in there a couple times to see if anybody was even in there. I went in there to
But is it your business if I'm home or not?
I went in there to get my spare key, a video game.
What about the second time?
The second time I was trying to see if the internet was still working. I had called the internet company and was trying to cancel it. And the only thing that had internet access
Had you all become hostile toward each other by this time?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And what else do you want to tell me about the harassment?
In the middle of February, I ended up getting into some trouble and got myself put into jail for a couple days. And while I was in jail, I have a sworn statement from my boss saying that she called my job not once but twice, saying that I needed to be fired because I was arrested. And
Ma'am, did you do that?
I did not do that. I called her work. I asked if she was. I was trying to locate her because I had heard that she had gotten arrested. I never said anything bad against her. I never talked badly. They asked if they could ask who was calling, and I said no. So I never told them who I was when I did call. So whatever statement.
Why wouldn't you?
Because I didn't. think it was necessary. Why do they need to know?
When you call anyone, you identify yourself, particularly if you're asking for one of their employees. The only reason you don't identify yourself is because you don't want them to know who you are because you've done something wrong. I believe the boss who says that you called there and said that she needed to be fired and was arrested. He says, I asked her name, she said no, and then hung up on me. She again called about a week or so later saying that Kim was a bad person and that she messed with the wrong people, and again hung up. All right, I'm going to conclude that you all weren't to be roommates anymore as of February. One of the reasons was your alcohol-induced destructive actions, and your Inspector Gadget moves were another reason to the harassment. I am going to conclude that she harassed you, and that was pretty significant to call your job. Did you lose your job?
I did not. I actually got promoted to management.
Good to know. All right, so I'm going to grant your judgment for the unpaid rent and property damage, and I'm going to grant your judgment for harassment, all right? You all do the math. Why don't you do it for him, Dora?
2166.
Zero?
Yeah.
For both? Have a good day. There go your judgment.
We are not friends.
Nope, I never want to see the again. I'm done.
Yeah, there ain't nothing else to say to this.